My uncle exposed the truth about my sister, and she accidentally heard it.
He said that you're beautiful and nice and friendly.
Well, I think I just completely screwed up my family. Last weekend was my sister Claire's 31 female wedding. Everything was going fine until the reception, when my wasted uncle, my mom's brother, started making weird comments about how it was nice that our dad was still playing the role of father after everything. Oh, Dad. Oh, dude, shut up. Stop talking. Yikes. I had no idea what he meant. So I pulled him aside, far away from everyone, so we could talk in private. By the way, this comes from Missy Flissy, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And Opie says, at first, he brushed me off, but after some pushing, he just dropped it. My mom had an affair around the time Claire was born, and there's a real chance my dad isn't actually her biological father. He said it like it was old news, but this was the first time I was hearing it. I was completely frozen trying to process what he just told me. And then I turned around and saw Claire standing there.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh. I have no idea how she heard us. I swear I pulled my uncle far away, that no one else should have been around, but somehow she was. I mean, she probably saw you, probably heard the guy go, yeah, it's so nice that her father's around. And then you go, let's go over here. And she's probably like, what was that? She just kept saying, what the heck are you talking about? Over and over. My uncle immediately started backtracking, but it was too late. Claire went straight to our mom, dragged her outside, and started demanding answers. Who do we think is the father? I think it's the uncle.
Oh, no.
Uncle Dad. We haven't had an Uncle Daddy in a
I
while.
love it, Uncle Dad. Story.
Ew, I don't like that. Uncle Dad?
I followed because, well, what else was I supposed to do? My mom kept saying, not now, but Claire was not letting it go. Then she turned to our dad and asked if he knew. The look on his face said it all. What did it say? That he knew? Or that he didn't know? Did he know? I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze because I need to know.
She knows.
At that point, Claire just lost it. She started crying, yelling that her whole life had been a lie, and then she just left her own wedding.
What?
I mean,
Ooh.
that is pretty big information.
Yeah, she just found out right now because her drunk uncle said something. Hey,
So
boy.
to recap,
Yes.
we don't know if the uncle
No.
actually
I'm
okay.
just guessing.
But she doesn't now know who her dad is.
Yeah, she just doesn't know who her dad
Okay.
is.
Yeah,
All right.
for all of you that are new here, that's the recap.
That's the recap. Now everything is a complete mess. My mom is furious with me for entertaining gossip. It's just true. My dad isn't speaking to anyone, and Claire won't answer my calls.
Oh my gosh.
Some of my relatives think Claire overreacted, while others say she had a right to know, even if the timing was horrible. Well, maybe Uncle shouldn't have been saying anything.
Is this gonna be like a Mamma Mia thing? Because I'm gonna hate my
Mamma
life.
Mia. Why?
Dude.
I love Mamma Mia. You don't like Mamma Mia?
It's such a gaslight. The
What?
whole thing. You sit there for like 2.5 hours, and then right at the end, she has the answer. She has it right here, and she's like, never mind.
It's not the point.
That's the point to me.
not
I've
the
been
point.
on the edge of my freaking seat, and now I don't get an answer.
And
Screw
also,
you.
it's heavily implied that the father, I believe, is
Heavily
Pierce.
implied does not mean this is for sure.
I thought it was-
That's the one.
I'm
I
just
thought it
hoping
was
it's Pierce. I've
heavily-
never seen it.
Oh, I think it's Pierce Brosnan.
I love ABBA. I'll die for ABBA. But nope, I will not stand
I'm pretty sure it's
for
heavily
this
implied that
dumb
it's Harry.
storyline they made around this.
So if this is a Mamma Mia situation, are you just going to leave?
Oh, yeah. If this is Mamma Mia situation, you'll
She'll
never
walk
see me
out.
again.
I
Goodbye.
feel awful. I never meant for this to come out at a wedding. I wasn't the one who told her, but I still can't shake the feeling that I played a role in ruining what was supposed to be the happiest day of her life. Am I the a-hole? And we've got an edit, folks. Ow! So this person on Reddit says, am I the a-hole for refusing to take my wife back after she cheated just to see if she still had
Oh
it?
my God, that's pretty rough. But OP, I got something for you.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Come to our live show, May 23rd at the Stray Theater in Hollywood.
Wait, how does that help his marriage?
It won't. It will help his confidence, though. Show starts at 7. And OP, bring whoever you love, or whatever's left.
I like this advice.
And if you want to come too, go to okop.show and get your tickets there for just $20.
We'll see you there.
Sophia, how dare you get hit by that? That is so unacceptable.
And that's exactly what
Unacceptable.
happened here.
Savannah.
That's so unacceptable.
We were trying to make a point.
Savannah. Try again.
Okay.
One more time.
Let me find something else to throw at you.
Yeah. No. Ow, that hit my finger.
Sophia, how dare you get hit by that? That's unacceptable.
You're so right. And this is a PSA about not letting your drunk uncle talk at the wedding. Otherwise, it's your fault.
Fair.
Obviously, you're not the a-hole. You were trying to prevent your uncle from making a scene.
Yeah, collateral damage, honestly.
Yeah.
They threw you under the bus. Edit. Neither of my parents drink for various health reasons. I'm the youngest of 4 siblings. I had asked him about my other siblings, 28 male and 21 female, and he denied anything regarding them, saying I took him far away, meaning I had taken him to a completely different area where we shouldn't have been followed. There's been 0 signs of infidelity between my parents, so this is completely out of the blue, which is why I was so quick to ask. Hope this clears a couple things up, and please feel free to ask more questions if needed. And we've got an update. I've got lots of questions, but I want you to give me answers first. What?
I think
Yes.
the only scenario where your parents have not cheated on each other and your uncle is your dad is if...
Open relationship.
No.
Oh.
Is if your parents were into some whole activities.
So open relationship.
Whole activity.
No. It could be just between themselves.
My
It's like,
hole hurts.
I'm gonna just input something into this hole, and that's how they do their
Artificial
thing.
insemination.
I think I'm losing Sophia here.
Yeah, I don't get it. Update. So I wish I could say there's good news, but honestly, the last few days haven't been much of anything. My dad has been all out of sorts, crying, zoning out, and just overall not himself. Last night, he had a breakdown regarding everything that happened and cried to me.
Oh no.
He thanked me for bringing it to light, but also scolded me for doing at the wedding, which I understand completely. What is this OP's fault?
Yeah.
Literally, what are you talking about?
She just
OP was
called the
like,
uncle out for like making a smart remark.
The uncle was gonna say it there. He
Yeah.
was about to say it in front of everyone. So at least she kind of handled the situation and was trying to get him out of the way. I know I should have waited for a better time to do it, and I honestly have no excuse for that. He was gonna say it in front of everyone.
Yeah. I don't understand.
My dad created a Life 360 with me whilst he went to stay at a hotel just a couple miles away. He says he doesn't know how long he's going to be there for, but I know he's safe. And you're safe with us if you listen to full episodes with stories just like this. So go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search for OK Storytime. If you don't do that, we can't guarantee your safety.
That's true. Everyone has insurance if you listen to us.
Yeah.
Not
Good morning,
through us,
Petty
just
Potatoes. Yeah. So we don't have insurance for you. Good morning, Petty Potato says also the bride, while she had a nasty shock, is also a little bit of an a-hole because her dad, whether he's biological or not, knew and stuck around. Where's the other guy?
I thought it was the other comment too. You guys do remember that the uncle is the mom's brother, right?
Yeah, now I didn't even register that Savannah had said that, honestly. But Katie Snipes says, OP is the scapegoat. Yeah, but we got a little bit left to the story. I've heard very little from my sister. I sent her a long paragraph apologizing for everything and telling her my intentions were never to hurt her or ruin her day. She sent me back a paragraph telling me that it's not me she's upset at. I would be shocked if she was upset at you. And that she honestly thanks me for bringing it to light since she heard his first comment too, and if nothing was said, it would have eaten her alive. I mean, like, what else? Well, literally, what else was he, would that comment have meant?
Yeah.
You know, like everyone heard that comment. Everyone was probably already thinking, oh, is he like, did he either leave the family? Was he not the father? We're not on good terms, so to speak, but I check up on her every so often after a commenter in my original post told me she could do something drastic. So thank you to whoever said that. It never even crossed my mind. My mom and uncle are a lost cause. They spent the past couple days trying to argue with us that it's not what it looks like. And now they're claiming it was just a harmless prank and never meant to upset anyone or cause drama. But for obvious reasons, no one's believing them. And this claim is what led to my dad leaving.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. So dad's like, yeah, no, I'm done with this. I don't want to deal with this. But we still don't even know like the truth of what.
I think we're about to get it.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah. Okay. So
it.
I didn't really understand if the dad knew or not. It seems like he didn't know. And it seems like it might be the uncle who was involved. I think he knows something else, but I'm not going to pry him for that just yet whilst everything's still raw. And that is the end of that story. So we don't know. Can we have updates?
Oh my God, it's literally Mamma Mia!
It's Mamma Mia. Guys, she's gone. She's gone.
No!
Savannah's never coming
Not only
back.
did I have to sit through it, now I had to read about it. No!
Mamma Mia. Oh, Mamma Mia.
I looked for an update.
Okay, I know you're gonna hate to hear this, Savannah.
This
I
is
think
all
it
I
is
saw.
heavily implied that the uncle.
Not heavily implied.
I went and found an update, and this was all that was on her profile.
Concerning.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
weight
right.
loss stuff. So
Well,
No
okay
way.
then. I think it is heavily implied that the uncle, because the uncle and the mom are the ones who are trying to cover this up, I feel like, because I think the uncle is dad's brother, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I think the uncle and mom, maybe there was some funny business.
Yep. Because if not, it would be the mom's brother.
Yeah, and that's concerning. Well, in that case, I would assume he just like knows about it. I would hope. But folks, that's the end of that story, and we've got another one.
My father told me that my graduation isn't about me after a disagreement.
That doesn't make sense.
I graduate high school in a few months and was told that I'm allowed 10 free tickets for family. Other tickets are available for purchase. Recently, my father asked about tickets and I told him about the free ones. He claimed that he should get 5 and my mother's side of the family should get 5 to make it fair.
Seems fair.
By the way, this comes from Always Tired 414, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah,
I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
and we're here to give some good advice in a little goofy manner. We don't have all your big answers. We don't even know what our little brains would come up with. So let us know what your big brains would do down in the comments.
Let us know.
As OP says, I told him that under normal circumstances, I would agree. However, there are only 3 family members on his side that I'm offering tickets to. The 3 are my father, my grandma, and my grandpa. The rest are my mother, sister, stepdad, brother-in-law, and 3 grandparents on that side. Okay. Wait, but that's more than 10. I just did the math on my fingers, guys. Is that more than 10 or am I crazy?
I wasn't looking.
I'm not gonna answer either of those.
Whatever. He claimed that this was unfair and that I needed to uninvite my stepdad and brother-in-law in order to invite my stepmom and stepbrother.
Do you have a relationship with them? And also, like, we could just get them. We can buy them tickets. They can still come. We can just buy them tickets. It's not an issue.
I said that if they would like to attend, I have no objections. But my stepmom does not want to go and has been separated from my father for months.
Oh, so he's trying to use this as like a way to, get back with her. He's like, oh, but like, please invite your stepmother. Make her come. Make her come, and then maybe we'll fix our relationship.
Scheming.
I've been working out.
Opie's scheming.
Well, Opie's not. Dad's trying to.
Dad is scheming. For background context, she's left us 3 times before.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's probably
Maybe
no
don't
go.
come to the graduation.
She'll come back this time, I promise.
I swear she'll be there
Fourth
if you give her a
time's the
ticket.
charm.
I think you just tell him, yeah, okay, I'll save you free tickets if they come.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got him tickets. She just didn't come.
Yeah. I literally do that. If you already know that they're not going to come, then yeah, I'll get you free tickets.
This time, she kicked my father and I out of the house instead, and she has already started the divorce process. Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's not coming to your graduation.
Wow, so she doesn't even like OP either.
No, why would she come to the graduation of the child she doesn't like?
Dang. I now currently live with my mother as my primary caretaker. Back to the story, though. My father called me selfish and disrespectful and said that my stepfather and brother-in-law were not even family.
Okay, so how
Yes,
is
they are.
stepmom then?
So then how is he stepfather and brother-in-law? That's fam. He also said that my graduation day is not about me. It's about the people who raised me, so I had no right over who gets invited.
Dude, your
And that's a
stepwife isn't
lie.
coming.
That's
Your
a
ex-wife isn't coming.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, he's really sad about the ex-wife not being...
Clearly.
If you're paying for it, we can talk.
Yeah. And graduation tickets, I feel like, aren't really that expensive. Like, I
No.
think at the most, like, $20.
Yeah.
But, like, depends, like, where you go. Like, if it's a small school, they're probably $10. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
I got
know.
like a bunch of free tickets, so I don't know. They were just, I think it was just like whoever can come.
Yeah, I don't even think we had tickets
I
to
also don't think we
graduation.
had
I think
tickets
you
because
just,
my
like,
school's so big.
come. Oh,
Yeah.
see, mine was small.
Oh,
But,
wait,
like,
no, it must have. I must have. I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know.
It was so long ago.
I didn't have a college graduation because that was the vid. So I
Oh,
wouldn't
I did.
know. You did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I disagreed and told him so. He said that if I didn't invite my stepmom and stepbrother, he would not be attending, nor would he allow my grandparents on his side to attend. He then called me a disappointment and dropped me off at my mother's house. I mean, dang, I just, she's not getting back together with you, dude.
Yeah, I literally am just saying,
Not my
okay,
fault.
I'll get them free tickets, and then I don't get them.
True. It's been 5 hours and he's now calling and texting nonstop saying I need to apologize to him. Am I the a-hole?
No, this guy's exhausting and also going through a divorce, and he's delusional.
Yeah, and
Oh.
it's the projection onto you that's really
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, who can I blame this on? Oh, yes, the child, the easiest target. Yes, let's make this his graduation about us. I mean, me. Update. Thank you guys so much for the reassurance that I'm not insane, LOL. My mother agrees with you guys, and I plan to ask my sister about the situation in the morning. Since she had to graduate high school when my dad was married to her mom and has seen the worst of his behavior before. I will definitely call my grandparents in the morning, but should I call my dad as well? I'm a little worried that I let him down because he's still my dad. A little more info about my stepmom and father, though. My stepmom adopted my stepbrother from another country when he was 2, and he is 9 now. My father never adopted him as well, and he has only been married to her since 2020. It's strange how perfect he thinks she is, because she's fake, hates me, and despises the fact that I'm gay. I've lived with my dad as my primary parent since I was 6, up until 2 years ago. This was for no other reason than 6-year-old me wanting to live with the fun parent. Everything was fine until he married her, and he's slowly gotten harder and harder to deal with. Overall, I'm just wondering if I should call my dad and finish the conversation tomorrow morning, or if I should leave it and act like nothing happened. By the way, there is a lot that can happen if you listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Such as getting advice and other stuff like that. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and your favorite podcast app, and just search up OK Story Time.
Do it.
Whoa. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think you need to call him. I think
No,
what
I
I'd do
think
is,
he owes an
he already
apology.
said, he's like, I'm not coming, and your
Yeah.
grandparents aren't coming. So I would call the grandparents, go behind his back, be like, hey, grandma,
Yeah.
grandpa, I have tickets for you. Show up
You're
at
still
this
coming,
time.
right?
Boom.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to be a part of that because of his own reasoning, then cool. Then don't be a part of my big day.
Oh no.
Like, just, like if you're going to cause like mayhem, chaos, and
Then I
like
don't want you there.
obstruction, yeah, then just don't go. Like if you're just already having a negative attitude going into it because you lost the love of your life or whatever,
Yeah.
that's on
I
you.
can't be the love of his life either.
It's not about you.
She does not like you,
Yeah.
buddy.
Update number 2.
All right.
I tried to call my father to calmly explain my actions and apologize for ignoring him. How do you think he's gonna react?
No, he's just gonna shout, "How dare you?
Yeah,
Give me those tickets."
he's not gonna be understanding. I don't know
No.
why people think that, like, oh, maybe if I explain it. No,
Yeah, no.
that's gonna make it way worse.
Yeah.
They just
They
want to
don't
be
want a
told they're
reason.
right.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't answer. I mean, that's also a thing. That's
Yeah.
also a response.
Yeah.
He is currently ignoring me because he's upset and acting out. I have tried to handle this in a non-childish way, but this man is no adult. That's upsetting that you have to be the adult.
Yeah, that is so frustrating. I'm sorry.
My grandparents haven't answered me either, so I'm worried he's
No.
already gotten to them.
Oh no.
He's already got them.
Yikes.
Oh no.
He's got his hooks.
Oh man.
He's got them tangled in their
30
tentacles.
zombies.
It's been 24 hours and this man is unemployed, so there's no way he hasn't been able to get to his phone. I'm going to limit contact as much as possible because I can't deal with him anymore. Unfortunately, due to shared custody and court-appointed calendars, I am not able to refuse visitation,
You
especially
gotta be
since I'm
close to
still a
18.
minor.
You gotta be close to 18 though.
Yeah. I mean, you're graduating.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
17 and a
Maybe like
half.
you had a
Yeah,
summer
but
birthday.
you're like right there. Not only that, but I have to spend 9 days with him starting after Christmas. I don't know how that's going to go down, but it's not going to be pretty. Oh, and that's it. Yikes.
I am shocked that you can't refuse visitation. when you're
yeah,
17 years old.
No, you can't, because it's like my what's it called? My cousins went through it, and it was like horrible because they never wanted to go to like the dad's house, but
Yeah.
like they had to, and that was just like it. It also, I guess, depends on like the state's rules.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
whatever. Like if like the children can like I don't know go to court and be like I want to do this.
Yep.
I have no idea.
We're
but-
close.
That's the end of that story, and we got another one coming right up.
My parents tracked every minute of my screen time, so I bought my own devices.
Smart. They can't track that.
I, 17 male, have always had a problem with the way my parents constantly track my screen time across all my devices. They had strict limits of 2 hours a day for everything, meaning that if I use my laptop for 1 hour and my TV for another, time's up. Even though I had my gripes about it, I understood that they bought these devices with their money, and I have to abide by whatever rules they have in place. By the way, this comes from Deleted, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I started working when I was 15 and have gradually saved up money since then. Because I generally don't splurge and make sure not to waste my money on pointless things, I have managed to save around $15,000 since then.
Whoa.
Dang! In 2 years?
That's
Well, I guess-
crazy.
I mean, that is very impressive regardless. But, I guess if you're very good at saving and you're also not paying for school or housing
That's
or food.
insane.
Since I currently do not have a job and won't be starting school until late September, both due to the pandemic, I've had a lot of free time on my hands. I spend most of it programming since I plan to be a software engineer once I'm out of high school. Problem with this is that since I use most of my screen time programming, I have almost no time to use my electronics for other stuff. At this point, I was tired of my parents' screen time system and decided to buy my own phone, laptop, TV, and gaming console. When I told my parents, they seemed okay with the idea, and I took this as a good sign. But when the packages arrived and I started setting everything up, they noticed that I was no longer part of the family group that allowed them to track my time. I told them that since I bought these with my own money, I wouldn't have to follow the screen time rules. They lost it and told me that they have the right to track my phone usage and that it's my house, my rules. Keep in mind that since I started high school, I have kept a steady 4.0 GPA, so screen usage has not affected me academically. It has been a few hours since the incident, and I'm thinking that taking my stuff and staying at a friend's might be the best move on my part. At this point, I am starting to think that they might have a point and that I might be in the wrong here. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? And we do have an update.
No, I don't think you are. You got out of, you found the loophole. And also, they can't, what is he? He's 17. They can't. I feel like that's an age where you can kind of start making decisions like that, especially with your own personal wants and needs. Say you bought an Xbox, but I'm only allowed to play on it for this specific amount of time. But I bought it, so I can play it whenever I want. I
don't know. Unfortunately, not saying that I completely agree with their parenting tactics here, but it is their house, and OP is a minor, so at a certain point, yeah. It kind of is their rules.
These are the dumb boomers.
I'm not saying I disagree with that.
No, because they're
yeah.
He's programming.
Yeah. He's spending his time
literally
programming.
could make a career out of it.
Yeah.
It's
and they're
insane.
Screen time. Completely agree with that, but it's also just unfortunately, there's not much you can do until you're 18. You can try and, talk to them and say, hey, I spend most of my time programming. And this is a career. But
the kids that I used to
they're your parents.
babysit, they gave them screen time. They got an hour. They were only allowed an hour.
Yeah.
Of after school and everything. They're not allowed to do anything. After that, I mean, they can go outside and play. They can play with the board games. They can play with their little plushies or whatever they want. They can actually go and play and be creative and make things or go read.
I do think it's a little bit different than OP's case because it's the vid. He's programming and just wanted a little bit of time to do stuff for fun.
It's not like he's harming anyone. It's not like he's on social media or all this stuff. And even if he was, if you bought that, I feel like that's what I had to do. I bought all my electronics. And I could do whatever I wanted because I bought them. I saved enough money from all the things that I would do and then be oh, can we go buy this and go get it.
That was your parents' rules. Unfortunately, I don't agree with it, but they're your parents and you're a minor. Kind of just sucks. You can try reasoning. That would be the only advice I could give, though. Update.
You could also try rebellion. That's my advice.
I think you should stay at go take your phone, stay at your, friend's place and just be hey, parents are going crazy. Can I just bum here for a little bit?
I don't know if they're going to allow that.
Well, that's what he said he was going to do.
I don't think you could just stay at a friend's house indefinitely, though.
No.
Are they cool?
After staying at my best friend's house for a couple of hours, I got a few texts from my parents letting me know that they're willing to negotiate the time limit. I was cautiously optimistic and went home prepared to have a civil conversation. After I got home, my parents sat me down in the living room and told me they could only extend the time limit by 30 minutes. They said, "We can't afford to let you waste your life in front of a screen, and why don't you pick a career more practical?" And that's very frustrating to hear.
There we go.
That's literally
Because
the most practical career in the modern
really
world.
is. It really
What
is.
they
the
want you
most
to be like a
practical.
barrel maker? Like, what are you?
Yeah. Lawyer,
practical.
doctor, engineer.
Practical. By the way, you should do the practical thing and listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. Ava just did the cutest little stretch. But there is a little bit left to this story. Yeah, OP. Sometimes parents kind of suck, and you just have to wait another year, and then you're good. You know? Like, honestly, what I would have suggested if I were in your place is not using all of that $15,000. I mean, you didn't know in advance, but like retroactively, I would have not used that $15,000 to buy new electronics when you already had electronics. I would have used it, when I was 18 so that you could move out or something and like have your own place if you needed that. But it's tough, I know.
Yeah, if I was limited to just 2 hours to do an assignment, but say I'm writing a 10-page paper, that's not taking 2 hours.
I don't
Sorry.
know if OP is talking about
Schoolwork.
schoolwork. I think he was saying that he also does programming, and that was an extra
So it's
thing that he
his
does.
free time.
Yes, he spends
So
programming.
his free time, he only
Yeah.
has 2 hours.
Yeah, which is, I agree, is silly. But yeah. The first thought that jumped into my mind was, what the F? And I left the room absolutely speechless. I decided then to move out and stay at my friend's place. I know the decision might seem a bit rash, but this is stemming from a lot of other issues regarding my parents' control that are too extensive to list in this post. To keep it short, I suspect my mother has some sort of undiagnosed OCD, and that is why she made it her life's mission to keep everything within her control. My father, well, he just doesn't care. I've just finished moving everything out, and I'll be staying at my friend's guest bedroom for the time being. Thank you all for your kind words, and best of luck to you all. I don't know if you can do that.
Why not?
He's 17. Legally, he's still a minor. I don't know if you can just...
Bro, did you ever do anything against the rules?
I know. I'm like,
I know.
Tell
I
me
got
you
in
never
trouble
broke
for
rules.
not doing the dishes, and that was it. But it was treated as if I was sneaking out.
Yeah.
oh.
But also,
Yeah,
no, I mean,
we've broken some rules, haven't we?
I've broken many rules. My dad actually just sent me, how I was saying how I would hide my stuff all the time?
yes, you were telling
Yeah,
me
my
this.
dad just sent a picture to me this morning. Well, not me specifically, but in the group chat, and was like, "Oh, what a lovely fall decor," and it's literally it's a bong.
You little
It had a
rascal.
pumpkin in it. It's so cute. I never used it. I just I got it at a garage sale. They were never
Rascal.
used, and I was like, "Wait, these are
Yeah,
so
I guess
cute."
if they don't fight it, but I guess they could fight it is more what I mean. And
I mean,
feel
what are
like
they
if
going to
they're-
do?
Well, he's a minor.
I mean, but what are they going to do?
Yeah.
The law would make him come back.
I'd just be like, I'll leave again.
I don't know. They
Yeah.
would just keep making him come back.
I'd
Yeah.
get emancipated.
Yes, OP could do that. But that's like a process. And you also still have to.
Sophia, I want to find rules for you to break.
Me too.
I break rules all
Now.
the time.
No, you don't.
You don't know my life. break
I
All I do
know
is
that
break
you
rules.
just said you didn't break any rules. Which
When I
means-
was a child,
yeah, that's the
I'm breaking
time
rules
you
left and right.
that's the time you break the rules, because then you don't have the consequences of adulthood.
Do you swear in front of your parents?
I don't really swear in front of a lot of people. I'm not a big swearer, so no.
I don't. Well, sometimes I do, but for the most part, my mom is like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm literally 28."
My parents swear more than me.
Oh, really? So, my mom
Yeah, my
never hear it. My dad,
my mom's a big swearer, but she's Australian, so.
yeah, my mom will not. She I've only heard her drop the F-bomb couple times in my life when she's very furious or something. You gotta really, really get on her nerves.
I'll curse so fast, dude.
Yeah, no, same.
I'll
I mean,
curse-
not in front
I'll
of kids.
curse
I
for
actually,
nothing.
the entire time, the whole almost 2.5 years that I was babysitting for the kids, never once did they hear me swear. I'm very good at
Yeah, I mean, I've just never sworn that much. I'll do
Yeah.
it for comedic purposes, but it's
yeah.
it's always unless I don't know, maybe recently, like if I stub my toe, but like even then it's not really. But it's almost always intentional. You know, it's not just like flippant for me.
I'm pretty flip.
You gotta get a little more flippant,
Gotta
dog.
get more
You
on
gotta
the flip
get
side.
flippy. Shoot, I forget. There was a story earlier where somebody was like, please, I'll do anything. And I was like, you should have told them to do a triple backflip. Back to me when you've done a triple backflip, and then I'll forgive you. But we are ready.
My in-laws took over babysitting, breaking all my boundaries in the process.
I didn't want you guys to do that.
My husband and I just took our first weekend away from our 10-month-old twins for a friend's wedding. And it was really hard for me to leave them. The kids. I already don't feel comfortable having my in-laws watch them. They're older. And my mother-in-law in particular has a history of ignoring my roles and boundaries. By the way, this comes from Kakia 12388. Did I scare you?
Yeah, I was terrified.
Kakia! Kakia! And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/showcase storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And we are here to get some good advice in a little goofy manner. But we do not have all of the answers you may seek. We would only know what we would do in this situation. But you know what? I'll make you a deal. We're going to tell you what we're doing. You tell us what.
These are supposed to be tight.
This is supposed to be short.
Quick.
It gotta be
10
quicker.
seconds.
Whatever.
Gotta be quicker. Start again.
We're here to give some good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We'll let you know what we would do in this situation. But let us know what you would do down in the comments. Is that better, guys?
Yeah, that was perfect.
As open twins.
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 He has four fingers.
Yeah, it's a cartoon. As Opie says, so instead, we asked my sister-in-law, who raised 3 boys and I trust, to stay at our house and watch the babies. Before we left, my in-laws mentioned they might stop by one day to help and hang out, which I was totally fine with. Well, Thursday night, the first night we're gone, I get a ring notification, and there they are. My husband and I were both confused since they weren't supposed to come until Saturday. I brushed it off. Then they stayed the night. Okay, not ideal, but maybe my sister-in-law appreciated the help. Then my mother-in-law starts texting photos. She's big on posting everything on social media.
Oh no.
One of the photos she sent was her feeding my babies ice cream.
Sorry, the 10 months old. Where are we just feeding them whatever we want?
I mean, they're... Oh, wait. Wait, 12?
Yeah.
Wait.
Why don't you just feed them nails and glass?
12 months is a year.
Yeah, they're not even a year old, and they're just like, ice cream. Let's feed them ice cream.
Yeah, I don't know. My mom gives I just commented the other day in my group messages with my family that my mom, whenever my nephew's with my mom, she always takes pictures and he always has an ice cream cone in his hand. I said every single time, but he's so cute.
How old is he?
He's almost 3.
Oh, well, there we go. We're good then.
Yeah.
Babies can have a tiny taste of ice cream after 6 months. It is generally recommended, however, to wait until 12 to 24 months to introduce it regularly.
All right, well.
But if it's high quality ice cream,
Then we're good.
Like
they're all
Haagen-Dazs.
good.
We have never given them ice cream or any processed sugar. I immediately texted yes in all caps that she cannot feed them that. She laughed it off and said it's just for the photo. I was livid. My husband backed me up, but obviously we weren't there, so nothing changed. It gets worse. She basically stayed at our house the entire weekend like it was an Airbnb. My sister-in-law later told me she had no idea they'd be staying that long and that my mother-in-law actually made things harder, like overstimulating one of the babies when she was trying to sleep. We also had our nanny come one day to walk my sister-in-law through the routine, and I had reassured her my mother-in-law wouldn't be there because she's been rude to our nanny in the past. But of course, she was there. And from what I can tell, she completely took over, so the routine wasn't even followed. For context, I don't have a terrible relationship with my in-laws, but I am the only one who sets boundaries with my mother-in-law. She behaves for a while, then reverts if she's not held accountable. Yeah, I hate those people.
Yeah.
Who are like, you just have to keep every time you say it, they're like, oh, sorry.
Of course.
And
then
then
they keep
like,
doing it.
Yeah, and then they continue, and it's like, no, actually, I just said not to do it. And they're like, oh, yeah, my bad. You're still doing.
Yeah. They're like, wait, hey, stop hitting me. Yeah, okay, oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
You're still hitting me.
No, yeah, okay.
No, there's a bruise. There's a bruise. You're stabbing me. That's what mother-in-law's doing.
Yes.
My husband has called her out multiple times, but she doesn't really change long term. When I brought this up, my husband said they just want to spend time with the babies. But that's exactly why I didn't leave them with his parents in the first place, because they don't respect our roles. I also pointed out, what if the babies had an allergy to something we hadn't introduced yet? And honestly, I'm just uncomfortable with that they treated our home like a hotel and took over when we had made other arrangements. So, am I the a-hole for being upset about this?
Nope. Not at
Not
all.
at all. No.
They suck.
Yeah,
And
they're not following your rules.
I would talk to the sister-in-law and say, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know if I can ever have you, like, I appreciate that you wanted to help, but like if this, I don't even know if I want to say if this ever happens again, because now I just don't trust that you are capable of fending off mother-in-law.
Yeah, well, obviously she isn't, because mother-in-law just made herself at home.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, here we
Yeah.
are. Carry on. Oh, no,
Sucks.
actually, that's not right. You missed a spot. Like, okay. There's an edit to add here. Sorry, can't respond to everything, but I'm currently on a plane flying home. My mother-in-law is a diagnosed self-absorbed person. No joke. I have on multiple occasions pushed back on her. It's exhausting and I pick my battles. No one else in the family wants to enforce any boundaries with her because it gets them nowhere and just causes drama. But I don't put up with her antics, and she knows it. Hence why she took this opportunity when I wasn't home to do whatever she wanted. She knows what she's doing. My husband constantly defends me, puts her in her place, gives her consequences for her misbehavior. It's like dealing with a child. The woman literally doesn't have the emotional intelligence to understand she is in the wrong. My sister-in-law is not her daughter. That's her stepmother. I thoroughly agree she needs to grow a backbone and should have kicked them out and said no to the ice cream. She will be hearing from me, but going off on her when I was angry in the heat of the moment gets me nowhere, especially from hundreds of miles away. I've crafted what I'm going to say when we get back, because guess what? They're all still camping out at our house. My husband will, as he always has, put them in their place and reinforce that this isn't just coming from me. He knows his mother's faults, but that's still his mother. My mother is my main go-to person for situations like this, and she said she'll come next time. My folks live in California and we're in New York. Oh, wow. But after she stayed with us for months to help when they were born, and again, when my nanny had emergency surgery, I wanted to give her a break, and my husband really wanted to prove his sister could be trusted.
Well, tough. She can't. Sucks.
Yeah, looks like none of that worked out.
Nope. Alas, your sister cannot be trusted to have a backbone.
Oh, no. But sometimes being in his family who constantly ignores the mental illness of my mother-in-law and who to tell me it's not a big deal makes me question if I'm overreacting. All your comments reinforce that I'm not, and I'm using this long flight to gather myself so I can sit them down and tell them they screwed up in the calmest way possible. There's an update. What do you think's going to happen?
I think mother-in-law is not going to listen at all, and I think they're just going to have to go through OP's mom.
It's just going to be the same, like,
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend the other day, and he was like, that's the same song we've already heard.
Yeah.
We've already heard this song. Like, you're singing the same song. So it's going to be the same thing. You're going to say, hey, blah, blah, blah. Like, mother-in-law, I don't like this, that, and the other thing. And she's going to be like, oh, what? Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Whatever. And then when she gets invited back over, she'll just do the exact same thing again.
Yep.
So, maybe going like low contact with them would be the best, but also you would have to bring that up to your husband, because I don't know how he would feel in that like situation as well, because obviously it's not just you, it's your a partnership. So
It's a tricky situation, but not that tricky.
yeah, but there is an update. This won't be the most exciting update, boring, but a lot of you asked for one, so here it is. When we got home, my in-laws were still at the house.
Oh my Lord.
Along with sister-in-law. Most importantly, the twins were absolutely fine.
That's good.
Good. My husband immediately told his mom, we need to have a conversation. He explained how inappropriate it was for her to invite herself over and take over from his sister, who we had carefully planned with and trusted to care for our girls. He brought up the ice cream, which is something we are not okay with. If you've ever dealt with a self-absorbed person, you know how difficult these conversations can be. I have, and what it's going to be is it's going to be a lot of back and forth of like, well, you do this. Well, I don't like when you do this. Well, I don't like when you do this. Okay,
Yeah.
but like, I don't like when you do this. And it's literally...
But you're keeping your kids from me. I
Yes.
never get to see the kids,
It's
though.
like you say one thing and like you try to put them in the corner and they just put you right back in the other corner. And it's just like going back and forth. It's literally like a game of tennis. Like you just go back and forth, and then by the end, you're just so exhausted that you're just like, whatever, forget it. I'm done with this conversation. And then that's it. They get you so frustrated that nothing comes out of it, and then you're just like, all right, whatever. I'm done with this. I can't deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's either you leave or this just continues to happen because, like, it's literally, agree with Van Kempeneta, it's repeatedly banging your head into a brick wall.
Mm-hmm. Let's stop that cycle.
They thrive on the drama, and confrontation can feel like a game to them. As expected, my mother-in-law started interrupting, getting defensive, and downplaying everything. It was just for a photo. It's not a big deal, etc. At that point, I stepped in. My husband wanted to handle it himself, as he should, but I couldn't stay quiet. I didn't yell, but I did firmly tell her to stop talking and listen. I repeated what my husband said. I was already anxious about leaving my girls, but I trusted my sister-in-law because we had a plan. My mother-in-law was not part of that plan. Showing up unannounced, staying all weekend, taking over, and giving them food we're not comfortable with was not okay. They need to always ask us first. For those saying, it's just ice cream, this isn't about ice cream. It's about boundaries.
Ice cream is a representation of boundaries.
Yeah. We're intentional about what we feed our kids, and more importantly, my mother-in-law has a pattern of pushing limits and ignoring rules. My husband and I don't fully agree on whether her behavior is intentional. He thinks she's just overly excited and a bit oblivious, while I believe she knows what she's doing. Either way, the outcome is the same. It's not acceptable. By the way, you know what is acceptable? For you to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search up OK Storytime. Do it. There's a little bit left.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think hold strong, be firm in your boundaries, and if she pushes past them, then she's not allowed to be near your children.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she's a boundary pusher. She's a people pusher. She wants
100%.
to like she wants to it's like you draw a line and she puts her toes on it. She's like, I'm not technically over it.
I'm not
like,
touching
I'm just
it.
on it. Yeah.
I'm not touching it.
Literally. It's like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. And it's like, but you are like, so like, this technically counts as touching me.
Yeah.
I'm going to touch you in the face. That's a punch reference. Maybe even a 5 fingers slap. Did the message get through? Honestly, who knows? We both said our piece. Oh, not pieces in like a piece of something. Come on. Oh.
No, yeah.
English major.
Both said our piece?
Yeah.
No.
Our piece of, yeah.
I thought it would be like our piece.
No, like our piece, like a piece of the sentence.
I don't agree with that. Look that
They're
up
saying
right
like
now.
we're both gonna say our piece of this conversation.
Hold on.
Yeah. They're not
No
saying
way.
I
keep
think
our
it's like
piece.
say our piece.
No.
Mm-mm.
That's tough because
Say your piece and hold your peace are separate idioms. Say your
Yes.
piece, P-I-E-C-E, refers to stating your opinion, your piece, or part of the conversation. Hold your peace refers to remaining silent and peaceful.
and that is exactly what I said.
That actually infuriates me.
Botulism
you
is really
mean?
scary. I looked up botulism earlier.
Why
Oh
would
yeah,
it be?
botulism.
Why would it be?
Yeah,
saying
botulism's
your
crazy.
piece?
Botulism. That's Botox. They put
And babies can
botulism
get
in your face.
botulism from eating honey because
Yeah.
their tummies don't have enough like stomach acid, and the botulism spores in the honey can actually take root in their stomach.
Yeah.
All right, well-
Botulism's no freaking joke.
Don't
Okay.
give your babies honey.
Don't give your babies honey.
We both said our piece clearly and firmly. For now, she will not be having any unsupervised time with our kids. Visits will only happen with me or my husband present. I saw a lot of comments suggesting we go no contact. It's just not that simple. My husband loves his family and I respect that. Overall, we do have a good relationship, but that doesn't mean I'll allow my boundaries to be ignored. My husband supports me in that, and that's what matters. As for my sister-in-law, she knows she shouldn't have let things play out that way. But overall, she took good care of the twins, and I appreciate that. That's the end of that story.
Well, there you go. Still, even if she took good care, I would still be pretty, I don't know, hesitant to let her take care of them again if she can't hold those boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be like, sister-in-law, or, like, are you gonna actually do something this time? Or, like, just be like, oh, well, my mom's helping. It's fine. Like, that's not cool.
That's what I want to know.
But that's the end of that story. And we got another one coming right up.
My in-laws planned a family trip and assumed we'd be there. We said no.
Nah, I ain't coming to this. Who are you to tell me?
My husband and I live a happy, quiet life in the mountains. That sounds lovely. No kids, a few pets, lots of friends, and adventures to go on. My in-laws are nice people, They got the vacation planning bug and have decided that the big family vacation this fall is going to be to Disney. Yay!
Yeah.
I said their plans sound great. Can't wait to see pictures. By the way, this comes from Dion and Share, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And Opie says, mother-in-law said that we'd be joining them. It's a family vacation. Theme parks, especially overly crowded, hot, expensive ones with screaming and crying kids, and a week with his family. Hard pass. Yeah, Disney is fun for a personal opinion. Disney is fun for a day, a full day. You get there at 8, you leave at midnight.
Are
Super
you only
fun.
familiar with Disneyland?
Yes. I'm sorry. I've
Get
never been
back
to Florida.
me.
I've now been to both.
The world goes bananas.
Okay, well, I will
I've
go
been
to
to
the
both.
world and I'll tell you anything.
I've been to both, but I haven't been to the California Adventure side.
California Adventure's fun.
Yeah, I heard that's the better side. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, well, of course I go to
I
the
only
side
went.
that
I
isn't
only
free.
go when it's free for me.
Me too.
My idea of a fun vacation is camping for a week and hiking or backpacking, quiet solitude in the trees. We said we aren't interested, but that we're happy they get to go. Mother-in-law argued that we have to go because it's a family vacation. I explained that from my perspective, that's a lot of time to spend with everyone. That's a lot of time to spend with the kids who will be overstimulated, overtired, cranky from travel, etc. And that it doesn't sound like leisure. It sounds like work. Mother-in-law looked shocked and hurt and said, I didn't realize you looked at your nieces and nephews that way. Husband said that we love them in small doses and that we honestly wouldn't enjoy being around everyone else for the whole time either. And that quite honestly, we're just not theme park people.
Now, okay, this really, again, depends on if it's world or land. If it's land, I agree. If it's world, what are you talking about?
I gotta go to this world.
Imagine Disneyland times 100.
Wow.
Have you guys ever been to Hershey Park?
No.
It's pretty fun.
Go back, go back to Ohio with
What
that.
about
That's
Cedar
crazy.
Point?
I know
Hershey
it's
Park
not
is in
in Ohio,
Pennsylvania.
but that's such an Ohio thing to say.
Ever been to Hershey Park?
Y'all ever been to Hershey Park? Get out of here with
What
that.
about Cedar Point? What about Kennywood?
What is that, a pool?
Are you
Cedar Point it's like the big theme park in Sandusky, Ohio.
I've never
Oh.
heard of Sandusky. in
Take
my
it
life.
back to Ohio.
I auditioned for them multiple times. Never got in, by the way. But auditioned for them multiple times to try to be like a host or try to be like, dancing
Never heard
people,
of it.
whatever.
I ain't never going to a town named Sandusky.
No, it's like it's right on the water. You see the one roller coaster, it's like all the way like the tallest roller coaster or the fastest roller coaster, some of them.
Well,
One of the
OP
two.
wouldn't like it either way.
But
Because it's not. It's a
it's-
theme park.
But you go over and you see Canada because you're so high up.
Okay. Mother-in-law looked so disappointed and made a quick excuse to get off the call. We discussed it again after, and we're both in firm agreement. A few days later, his brother called and yelled at him for ruining everyone else's vacation. I guess because we aren't going, it'll cost more for everyone. That's a them thing.
Yeah.
And the parents won't get a break because they can't take a day off and send the kids with auntie. So you were babysitters.
That's why they want you there.
Auntie
This
and
isn't
uncle for a
for-
couple hours.
This isn't for you. This is for them.
Yep. Husband said, oh, so the whole reason you guys wanted us to come in the first place is so you had babysitters? Brother-in-law got super offended by that and made a comment that spending time with your nephews isn't babysitting. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And went off on how we don't know how to be part of a family. We just go off on our own and do our own thing without caring how anyone else is doing. It caused this big rift, and part of me wonders if we're just supposed to suck it up and endure a week at some overpriced, gaudy theme park just so everyone else in the family gets theirs. By the way, I hope you get yours. And by yours, I mean stories. And you can find those on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. Just search up OK Storytime. But we've got a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts about OP's question?
No, Sofa King. Actually, I do know Geauga Lake and SeaWorld. Been to both of them. I love Geauga Lake.
SeaWorld still exists.
SeaWorld, yes, in Florida. I think there's only like one now.
There's a SeaWorld in
There
San
used
Diego.
Oh,
Yeah.
there is?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh.
Still?
I mean, there was when I went to college.
I can't believe
Dang.
it.
I know. I was always
Yeah.
shocked when I passed it.
Two, the two things I'm so shocked have not been canceled yet officially are SeaWorld and Chris Brown. Crazy to me.
It is pretty shocking.
Like,
it is
can't
pretty
believe Chris
shocking.
Brown just walks around and like nobody really talks about him like in the same vein as anyone else
It
that's been
comes up
canceled.
every so often, and people are like,
it's
yeah.
like a
Just a ruthless, brutal guy.
it's like
Yeah.
a disease that like flares up sometimes.
yeah, they're
and
like,
then
and
it
no
comes
one's
back
talking
down,
about Chris Brown,
But he
and
can
then
sing
silence.
and dance so well.
right?
Man.
Yeah. But we got a little bit left for this episode.
Wait, I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that you're the a-hole at all because you don't want to like, you don't want to spend that time just babysitting and not doing things that you want. Like, it's not even a place you really want to go anyway. So it's like, actually, I don't really want to go. Like, and how long is it supposed to be? Did they say?
A week.
Yeah, a week at
No,
Disney?
thank
No,
you.
you don't need a whole freaking week.
Yeah.
To do what? To do the same thing over and over and over again?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
No, there's so much stuff. So
Yeah.
much. It's not the same thing over and over again. But if you also are like being made to be professional babysitters, that
Does
might suck.
anyone in the chat Idora Park?
Stop
Anyone?
saying all these weird Ohio
No one
theme
knows what
parks.
you're talking
that
about.
one was in Youngstown. It got burned down.
Get out of here with that.
Update. I just wanted to redirect some of the child hate going on in the comments. We don't dislike the kids in the family. We spend time with them. We see them every 3 or so months and visit over holidays. The kids are perfectly good kids. The kids are perfectly good.
I'm laughing because it's like they were so dead set in the story about
Yeah.
like hard pass, no way, that's
Ew,
terrible.
Thank you.
And I'm sure all these comments were like, that's so terrible. And now they're like, actually, we don't hate all the children.
Well, no, I think that OP is saying that people in the comments are hating all the kids. They're like, whoa.
Oh,
Yeah. Which is
I misread that.
funnier.
Good job. Yeah, that is actually funnier.
They're like, these kids suck. And OP's like, no, they're fine.
They're like, we didn't mean to accidentally incite an angry mob against
Yeah.
these children.
The kids are perfectly good kids, but spending more than a day or two with them and the rest of the family is a bit much. It is nothing to do with the kids being brats or anything like that. They're just kids. And Opie and partner are child-free.
Yeah, for a reason.
Do we still not know which one it is? I'm sorry.
No, it just said Disney. But I'm assuming Disney
We'll
World
never
if they're
know.
spending a week there.
Do we still not?
That says Florida.
Or to
We're
Florida.
definitely not going on this
There we
vacation or to
go.
Florida at all.
Oh, what just happened?
The speaker fell.
Oh, it's okay.
No offense, Floridians, but I'd rather not meet Florida man. We're going to make sure to let everyone know that if they want to see us more often, they're going to have to put in some effort to at least meet us halfway and come see us instead of us always coming down to see them. And of course, let mother-in-law know we're sorry for the way we put the rejection, but reiterate that we're not interested in a big trip for a week long. And we'll consider popping in a day or two if they do a vacation to somewhere more our speed. And that's the end of the story.
Well,
Dang.
Sure.
I'm not going to
yeah,
lie.
you're on par.
Y'all are boring. Kind of lame. Not going to lie.
I don't
You
know
just
if-
don't know.
I don't know either. So if someone said, do you want to go on a week-long trip to Florida to stay at Disney? I would also say no.
Oh,
Sorry.
Waldemir.
It's like
What are you saying?
Waldemir. I love that place. That one is theme park and water park.
did the Disney World or Disneyland out here
Yeah.
is like 15% of what Disney World is.
And maybe one day I'll go to Disney World. But that is the end of this episode and the end of the stream. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow. Hey, don't leave yet. We've got some stories that we think you'll enjoy, so stay tuned for the next one. My husband asked if our son is really his. I don't think I can forgive him.
Don't do it.
This is a throwaway account because I don't want my husband to see it and I need to let it out somewhere. My husband, male 26, let's call him Mark, and I, female 24, have been together for 5 years, married for 3, and have a 2-month-old son together. By the way, this comes from Deleted, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, Our relationship, like any other, has had its ups and downs, but we have always been faithful to one another, and I have never had any reason to doubt his loyalty to me or our marriage. We met in college and became friends very quickly. We started dating around 6 months into our friendship, and I have been madly in love with him since. Mark has been the best husband and dad, and I feel more in love with him every time I see him interact with our son. He is always sweet and thoughtful, and he's been my best friend the entire time I've known him, and I'm so taken aback by this situation yesterday. We have always kept our relationship troubles private and try to solve our problems between each other. We don't bring others into our disagreements in order to make sure that we aren't influenced by their feelings. So neither my parents nor his know about this, and I have nobody to talk to. I have never experienced feelings as I am now, and I don't know how to sort through them. Yesterday, I was feeling sick, so I decided to take our son with me to take a nap while Mark was working from home. I woke up to our baby needing a diaper change, but I was still feeling rough, so I asked Mark, who was taking a break from work, if he could change him for me before going back. He came in sweetly as always and took care of him for me. This is where things caught me by surprise. While changing his diaper, I was laying in bed and Mark asked, "He's for sure my son, right?" Oh, he's actively changing diaper. He goes, "He's for sure my son, right?" We have always talked about not making jokes that would call anything in our marriage to question, such as not joking about divorce or anything like that. The funny thing is I don't think that he's joking. Ugh. We find jokes like that are not appropriate and always make the conscious decision to stay away from them. So when he asked that, I assumed he was joking and I was surprised and instantly hurt. I told him not to make jokes like that. And I got out of bed to get some space from him and drink some water. He followed me out of the bedroom and asked again in a seemingly joking manner. I said, "Of course he is. And I already said I don't like jokes like that. I need you to stop." I thought that was the end of it. And my feelings were hurt still, so I tried to go back to bed and get my mind off of it, but he stopped me. He asked again and said that he had some doubts for some time, including during my pregnancy, and said that our son looked nothing like him, so he needed a straight answer. I was and still am absolutely shocked, hurt, and just confused all around. I told him I was giving him a chance to take back the question because I was extremely hurt by it, but he doubled down. In that moment, I was overcome by anger and I told him we were leaving. I took our son, got us both dressed, and said we'd be going out for a drive and to leave me alone while I thought. He tried to stop me and started saying, "We weren't going anywhere. You want to bet, buddy?" I'm about to give him the old pow pow. I'm sorry, you question your wife's loyalty to you and then have the audacity to say that she's not allowed to go anywhere? I thought that wasn't your son. If it's not your son, then you have no right to say where he goes with his mother.
That's so true.
You can't have it both ways, Buster. Send this man to the Ord cloud. I don't want you in my sight. He tried to stop me and said, "We're not going anywhere." And I asked him why he freaking cared if I left since he didn't think our son was his anyway. Why did he care if I took someone else's son with me for a drive? I think now that maybe I shouldn't have said that and caused more doubt, but I was furious and extremely hurt and I wanted him to let us leave. Absolutely should have said that. I have never given him any reason to believe that I would cheat on him, and I've never ever been tempted by anyone else. I love Mark, and I have never been with anyone else while we were in a relationship. I have never cheated. I took our son and drove a few miles away from our house to somewhere I knew he wouldn't find us so that I could have some time alone to cry and think. I was gone for about an hour, and when I got home, his car was gone, so I went to our bedroom, put the baby in his crib, and laid back down to try and take another nap, as I was still not feeling well. I cried myself to sleep. I woke up to Mark coming into our bedroom and saying, "Sorry I asked that. I just had to be sure."
Really, buddy?
Did you really have to ask that? I don't think so.
You know what I don't have to be sure of? That this man needs to get the F out of my life.
Bye. I don't want to see you sniffing around these parts ever again, Buster. I woke up to Mark coming into our bedroom and saying, "Sorry I asked that. I just had to be sure." I immediately started crying and told him I wasn't ready for his apology and that it was not an appropriate question to ask, ever, as I had never given him any reason to think otherwise. We talked for a bit, and I told him how hurt I was, and he apologized and cried and asked to hold our son, to whom he also apologized, and he let me take my nap while he took care of our son. We didn't talk too much about it after that. We had dinner together, and he talked about other random things, acting like everything was normal. We went to bed, and he cuddled up to me and told me he loved me and apologized again, and I told him I loved him too and went to sleep. I do love him, but I feel I am not ready to forgive him yet. I can't just go back to normal. I feel absolutely betrayed by the accusations in his question, and I don't know what to say or do. He thinks everything is fine now and is talking to me as if nothing happened, but I just can't get over it like that. I feel angry and have acted almost apathetic towards him since our conversation yesterday. I think he can tell I'm not okay, but he hasn't said anything about it, so I think he's just trying to act like everything is normal until I'm over it or something. Get this man to therapy!
Lock him in a box, dude. Don't let him escape.
We can put a little radiation there, pull a little Schrodinger's man. We don't know if he's alive or not. I don't want to know. Keep him in that box. I don't know if I'm overreacting to this. You're not. And I've pretty much just been on the verge of tears constantly since yesterday. I can't look him in the eye. I feel betrayed, and I don't know how to recover from this. Am I overreacting? Should I just try and forget about it and let things go back to normal? I don't plan on telling anyone in our lives about the situation. I don't want anyone else to feel hurt on my behalf. He's a good man and has always been kind to my family. I just don't know where this came from, and I have no idea how to cope with these emotions. I just needed to let it out somewhere, and there is an update. What do you think? What say that you?
When a man accuses the wife of the baby not being theirs, it is accusing you of cheating. It is accusing you that you had the baby and didn't tell them, and insinuates that you're trying to, use them or whatever to like father and help care for your child for 18 plus years.
The betrayal of that question, everything that it insinuates, is somewhat insurmountable.
And dare I say, Sophia, I mean, we've had a lot of stories, you've seen these stories where these guys come and like, oh, it's the baby, my blah, blah, blah. This man might just take the cake for one of the dumbest ways to ask and persist.
Is that my baby? And she's like, don't joke about that. And he's like, okay, but is it my baby? Where'd your brain go, dude? Yeah, like, what is his proof? That his baby kind of doesn't look like him? They're not doppelgangers, dude. But there is an update.
We're going to get back to the story, but Sam, you have a copious amount of something.
What, John?
X's.
I have like 4 or 5 or 6.
I heard of 6 with a 0
All
behind
right,
it.
that 60 number, comes from somewhere else.
Where does that come from?
It comes from our OK Storytime membership.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
It's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Join a club almost as exclusive as Sam's X's. Well, let's get back to the story.
Thank you all for the thoughts and perspectives I posted on here because I needed an outlet, and I also thought some anonymous outside perspectives would help me gather my thoughts. I think I read pretty much every comment on here, and you guys are saying some new things and a lot of the things I have thought about myself, including projecting, overreacting on my part, anxiety on his part, the stresses of marriage and parenthood, and the fact that there are 2 sides to the story. Reddit is being too nice today.
Get back on your mob bandwagon, guys. We need energy.
Where is the usual divorce? Now you're saying, oh, there's 2 sides to every story?
There's not good people on both sides.
There's one bad side.
And it is this man, Mark.
I talked to him briefly on the phone during his lunch break and asked if we could have a serious discussion over dinner when he gets back from work. I am planning on keeping an open mind, and I asked that he keep himself open emotionally as well so we can lay it out on the table. I believe this marriage is worth it, and I'm willing to put in the work it takes to resolve this, provided infidelity is not the reason. I will bring up marriage counseling as many of you have suggested, and I plan on talking until we have some kind of resolution that I can live with. I am definitely feeling better having taken some time to just pray and meditate in peace with my thoughts. And I know I did some overreacting. I could have definitely de-escalated the situation, but instead acted out of hurt and anger. I know he has struggled with anxiety and depression in the past, and I want to keep myself in check when hearing his side and emotions. Girl, why are you putting this all on you? What are you doing? She's like, I know that I made the wrong decision here. I know that I'm at fault. Girl, no.
I peeped when she said earlier, she was like, oh, he was like such a good guy, and this came out of nowhere. I think that they have this toxic relationship where she is always the one like basically apologizing and all of that.
That's what it seems like. I will update once we've talked. Thanks, everyone. And there is an update, so I'm assuming they've talked. We had a talk over dinner that lasted a few hours because of interruptions from the baby. A couple of things I wanted to respond to here since there were a lot of comments saying similar things and I can't respond to them all individually. When we first argued, I told Mark that the baby was undoubtedly his and that his questioning was hurtful as I thought he knew me and knew that I would never be unfaithful to him. I didn't add this to the original post because I thought it went without saying, But I guess not. That's my fault. I admit I reacted defensively, and that was not the way to go. Girl.
Be offensive.
I didn't stop to think about his perspective, as the initial shock hurt me more than I've been hurt in our relationship this far, and I really wasn't thinking about the reason behind the question. I was upset and needed space to manage my emotions so I wouldn't be talking to him while seeing red. My mother-in-law is the kindest person and has been wonderful to me throughout mine and Mark's entire relationship. She's been incredibly supportive and the best grandma our baby is her first grandchild. She's been as involved as she could possibly be from another state, and she was in the delivery room with me the entire labor. I love her, and I know she's not putting anything like this into Mark's head. We agreed to keep our relationship problems private because of something that happened when we were dating. Long story short, we got into a fight and included our parents and siblings, and people ended up taking sides. And there were more hurt feelings than were necessary between our respective siblings and each other. My brothers and sisters were upset at him, and his brother upset at me. If there were ever a situation we felt needed outside opinions from family or friends, I'm sure we would have come to the decision to talk to them together. But so far, I just really didn't want to give my family or his reason to be upset with either of us or cause a divide. The idea that he was projecting did cross my mind because of other Reddit stories, but I have never doubted his faithfulness to me. It's really funny because you may not have doubted him, but he's continuously doubting you.
And he just keeps doubling down on that.
I do not believe he has or ever will cheat, but he does believe that you have cheated. I know him, and I can say this for certainty. I appreciate all the concern of everyone saying this to warn me, though. If it weren't my relationship, I could see how this could be interpreted. So, dinner. We talked and came to a resolution. First, I asked him to tell me, free of judgment, why he asked in the first place. In our initial argument, he just said he didn't know and shrugged it off. You better figure out why. You better figure it out, buddy. He's like, I don't know. It just kind of came to me one night. I had a dream about it. I thought I'd ask. In our initial argument, he just said he didn't know and shrugged it off. Well, at dinner, he went more in depth. He said that he's been feeling insecure as a husband and a father lately, and he didn't feel like he deserved to be happy, so something must be going on. He's expressed sentiments like this before in a relationship. He has struggled with depression and anxiety, and he feels unworthy of love and happiness. He's seen therapists for this kind of thing, but sometimes he does struggle with his self-esteem. I told him that our baby was 100% his and that we could take a DNA test if that would help. He said he didn't want to do that because he trusted me and he really regrets feeling any kind of doubt about our son. He let his intrusive thoughts get the better of him, but he knows that I love him and would never cheat on him. We resolved to do an Ancestry.com profile for our son as a compromise.
How is that a compromise? She was literally like, hey, we'll do it. And he's like, oh, no, that's good. And now he's like, nah, let's go ahead and do it.
He's like, let's do just a more extensive DNA test, as it would give Mark full peace of mind and could also be something our son could look back on for fun. They're like, hey, you remember when dad thought you weren't his son? Good times. My husband and his brother were both given ancestry kits as gifts from their mom so they could learn more about their dad, who left after the divorce and hasn't seen them in person in over a decade. So we thought this was appropriate. I shared my perspective and apologized for encouraging his anxiety and doubt by acting defensive and leaving. I explained the reason I needed to leave for a bit was because I didn't want to say anything extreme I would come to regret later, and I needed to get my thoughts together. I expressed that I was apologetic for leaving so abruptly, but that I didn't apologize for feeling upset or hurt. It wasn't about making it about me, but the question of paternity ultimately has an insinuation of unfaithfulness, and I was insulted and just felt betrayed by the implication. I told him that I wanted to give him reassurance and that our marriage was worth passing away to myself a little to help him with his anxiety and insecurities, as long as he could acknowledge that his questioning and demeanor in that were inherently hurtful. OP just conceded so much.
Live your life. Go enjoy it. You deserve that.
I think all in all, it was a productive conversation, and I feel good about the resolution. I feel a lot better about our standing in our marriage, and I'm left a lot more comforted than I was where we left it last night. Ultimately, when we got married, we vowed in the name of love, for better or for worse. And I do not plan on leaving at the first big bump we've hit in our marriage. Even after the honeymoon period has been long past, I've never felt like we left it. Sure, we've had arguments and disagreements, hurt feelings and apologies, but we've always been able to get past them. This is bigger than anything else we've faced, but that's not a reason to throw everything away. The best things in life are worth fighting for, and we've agreed that we are both in it for the long haul. But you can be in it for the long haul with us by listening to more full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search up OK Storytime to hear more stories like this. There's more to this story.
I like how she gave this whole just like soliloquy.
A whole monologue on this.
And then I feel like if he was asked like why, he'd be like, meh.
He's like, I don't know. I just like thought that she might be cheating on me. So I had that thought and I thought, oh, I should express it right now. It came to my mind and I thought, I'll say it right now.
I went to therapy and they told me to express my feeling.
And so I expressed this feeling. So I accused my wife of cheating on me.
I'm a good guy.
Again, I want to say I appreciate all of your perspectives, whether they were calling me out for my defensiveness or in support, validating my feelings. I read every comment and thought about each one with an open mind. I never thought that a vent post about the situation would get so much attention, and I want to thank everyone for their genuine opinions. I don't expect there will be any other updates to this, and I probably won't post anything else on this account. I will show my husband this post eventually, I think. It may be helpful for him to read some of the comments, as it was for me. Anyway, that's all. Thank you. God bless. Run away. Or, I mean, like, he needs to go to intense therapy. Because I'm sorry, like marriage counseling's good idea, great idea, but he needs to go to individual therapy to figure out why he's accusing his wife of cheating on him.
Yes. In an ideal world, he's going to therapy doing that. I refuse to name our son after my wife's late brother. She blew up.
I mean, was his name cringe, though?
Yeah, his name literally was cringe.
What an unfortunate soul.
Obligated. This is a throwaway. I don't want this to reach friends or family. Also, I'm sorry for the length. Never apologize for that. And also, I didn't know a good way to shorten this without leaving out anything important. I was directed here upon the advice of a friend after this issue escalated to a huge argument approximately 3 hours ago that resulted in myself leaving our home to go to a buddy's house. I am still here. I'm unsure about how to go about resolving this with my wife. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Airs 112, and if you want to submit your stinky little mess, go to r/OKStorytime and squanch it in. So myself, 28 male, and my wife, 26 male, have been together for 10 years and married for 4 of those. My wife is pregnant with our first child, a boy, and she is due in early July. Now on to the issue that has arisen. My wife wants to name our son after her brother who passed a little over a year ago. Her brother, we'll call him Tyler, was her only sibling and they were very close growing up and they were only 2 years apart. However, her brother was not the most pleasant person. Her brother was a rug user starting from the ages of 14 to 15. He stole from everyone around him, including myself and my wife. He was abusive to every one of his partners and his children and his child, and he served several years behind bars. Tyler was also abusive to his wife and her parents. He had a stay away order from our home because he broke in while we were away, stole our TV, my wife's jewelry box, and one of my hunting.
So, that is a bad string of things. However, sounds like he never got the help he needed when he was young.
Now, Tyler passed away last year in April due to a rug overdose, and it affected my wife very deeply. It was her first major loss that she suffered, and she still attends therapy to help cope. When we found out we were having a boy, she immediately wanted the name to be Tyler, her brother's name. I heavily disagreed, and I have offered many replacements, other family names like her father or grandfather's, but she will not budge. She wants our son to have the exact same name as her brother, first and middle. She has even gone so far to say that if we name him something else, she will have it changed or only call him by Tyler. My final straw was when my wife ordered a blanket with Tyler's name sewn in it for our son. I blew up and told her that I was not naming our child after a rug user who took advantage of everyone around him. My wife blew up at me. She screamed at me to leave, threatened to call the police if I didn't. She called me a piece of crap for talking about her deceased brother like he was trash. I did leave. I told her I would attempt to speak to her again about this once we had both calmed down, and I apologized for speaking about Tyler in a negative way. I'm getting calls nonstop from her family calling me names for speaking about Tyler and not wanting to honor him by naming our son after him. My family's on my side, her family is on her side, and my friends are split on the matter. So Reddit, strangers on the internet, I need your opinion on if I am indeed a massive a-hole for not wanting this name for our child. We have an update, but real quick, a-hole or not for OP?
Yes, a-hole.
I'm going to give him a-hole because he's literally not once addressed like, oh man, I could see why this would be meaningful for my wife, or she's still grieving.
He's talking about it like the brother is a stranger. It's like he's being like, I don't understand why my wife wants to name our kid after Ted Bundy. It's like, it's her brother. It's not like a random piece of crap guy. I don't know. It's not like her ex-boyfriend. They were children together. They were pure, innocent, blameless beings. The fact that that's your wife and you can't understand that makes you not only an a-hole, but a huge idiot at the same time, in my opinion.
There's the name. I think that's like a separate thing, but it's like his wife's feelings and emotions about the brother passing.
In my head, if I'm the wife, it's like the reason I'm naming my son Tyler is because it's almost like I can give Tyler a second chance at existence. And it's like, hey, compromise instead of just blowing up and being like, your brother is scum, your brother is and it's like, yeah, we do not condone the behavior he exhibited as an adult. It was bad. But like maybe middle name. What makes OP the a-hole is the way that he has gone about this. It's just completely non-caring, non-sensitive, just like basically being like, why don't you see that your brother's and everyone hated him and he was the worst?
On to this next part. Hello, internet humans. Not sure if any of you remember my first post a few months back, but I just logged on and saw I had a few messages, so I figured I'd post an update. Sorry in advance for the length. If you recall my first post, me and my wife were expecting a baby boy in early July, and our conflict was occurring over my wife wanting to name our son after her late brother, Tyler. We got into a huge fight. Some names were called, not Tyler's, and threats were made, and I was led to this subreddit to ask the advice and opinion of internet strangers. I sat down with my wife. We had a very long and difficult conversation. She broke down and admitted she was struggling more than she thought, than she let on with the loss of her brother, and she told me she felt uncomfortable talking to me about it due to my feelings towards him and how he lived his life. I was devastated, to say the least. I've never felt like such a horrible partner. Hey, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Hey, communication. I was selfish. I failed to see him as anything more than his mistakes, and I failed to support my wife through his death, through his passing. It was a long talk with lots of tears, and we both agreed to be more open in the future and less judgmental. We started attending therapy together less than 2 weeks after that. Let's go. And we've been going ever since, once a week. It was rough at first, but it has helped tremendously in dealing with the bumps in the road of marriage. As for our son, the name debate, we came to an agreement on a name after lots of discussion. A first name we both adored, and his brother's middle name, just spelled differently. A good compromise for both of us. And it was my son's own name that no one before him had carried, and we were both happy.
See, now I think if that's your perspective, completely different thing for me. If you're just like, I would like my son to have a name that is his and his alone. Cool. If you're like, I don't want my son to have your trash can brother's name that everyone hated and he, by the way, did you remember that? Your dead brother's that you're grieving about? It's like, dude, relax. Have just maybe a little more tact.
I also just thought the kid growing up and realizing like, wait, I'm named after that.
I'm named after Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Does everyone named Ted feel that way?
It depends on why. And I think that's the main thing is why. I think everybody's here because no one had a thought out conversation. It was just, I'll end up on that hill or I'm going to argue with this. And it just like no one saw like clearly here. It was just like all off of emotion.
So, and then on July 3rd, 2022, my wife delivered a beautiful, healthy 8-pound baby girl. Plot twist. To say that we were shocked would be an understatement. My daughter came home the next day, and since then, I am still in awe of how we created something so perfect. We didn't figure out a name until she was a week old, but I'm happy to share that Eleanor Shea is what we came up with. We are still adjusting to life with an infant, but so far it has been nothing.
Fantastic.
Thank you for the past advice, internet friends and strangers. Guys, I read the title of the next update because we are 30% of the way through the story. So I'm just here to vent my frustrations and scream into the void about my current situation. I can't talk to anyone in my personal life about this. My wife is cheating, and she has been for the past 2 months. I just don't understand. I don't even know where to start or where to begin. We have a beautiful home, stable careers, and we are not financially struggling. No rugs, no booze. We attend therapy together. Our daughter is healthy. Perfect. Our 6-year wedding anniversary is 3 months from tomorrow. We've been together for 11 years. I've spent the last 2 days examining everything about us under a microscope, trying to find a crack where I went wrong. When did she become unhappy? When did our life become unsatisfactory to her? For her to step outside of our marriage with some random guy she met on Facebook. Blech. For her to throw her family away, I just don't understand.
So really quick, did he say this was for the past 2 months and the update was like pretty soon, close to the original post? Did the update have like a X amount of time later? Keon, do you know that? Because my ICU would be, having your brother pass away and going into an emotional state you've never been in your life might cause you to make decisions and take actions that are contrary to maybe what you would do normally.
Maybe. Not to excuse that behavior at all.
I'm not a cheating apologist now. No, I'm just trying to make sense of her behavior. It doesn't make it okay. I'm just trying to figure out why.
So I found it on Monday completely by chance. My daughter's tablet was off. I grabbed my wife's iPad so she could watch her nighttime videos and go to sleep. Wife isn't home right now. She's on a trip and won't be back for another 4 days. I keep hearing message notifications dinging, dinging on her iPad while my daughter has it. So I took it to turn it on silent, only to see a man's name I didn't recognize with a little winky face next to it. The audacity. Dude, the winky face that's actually crazy.
John, we're going to get back to the story, but I got to tell you, I've been loving these pearls that I got in Colombia.
You are a delicious beaded man now.
I do feel more confident at the very least, but I think these pearls pale in the amount of confidence an OK Storytime membership can get you.
That's right. You get 60 plus hours a month of exclusive live stream content. That's advice that'll make you the best version of yourself.
And it's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Crack open that oyster and get the blues. But let's get back to the story. I went through everything. They've done it all. Met up, spent the night together, went on dates, even had a romantic cruise planned for next month. Oh, the same cruise she told me was a bachelorette trip with one of her friends. All of those outings that I encouraged. She told me they were with her friends, so I encouraged her. I was so proud she was getting out there and becoming more social. Since she expressed motherhood made her feel like a recluse. And after digging a lot deeper and, Facebook boy dug deep as well, all I knew is these new friends she's been hanging out with don't exist. They were just characters that she's created to continue the relationship with this man. I feel like a complete and total idiot. I never second guessed a lie she fed me. I gave her my 100% trust. We've been doing couples therapy for a year. We communicate, we go on dates, and we get each other gifts. Oh, for timeline, this is, I think, a year because they started going to therapy right before the kid was born. So I think we're like maybe close to a year, like 8, 9, 10, 11 months. Plenty of time has gone by. We communicate, we go on dates, we get each other gifts. Our spicy sleep life was great. I never, even for a second, would have suspected this. I don't know how to confront her with this. I don't want this. I don't want to split up our home, but I know this isn't something therapy can fix. I know myself well enough to know that I'll never be able to trust her again.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. 100% fair.
Do I just let it go? Let her be with this man who clearly makes her happier than I can? Oh, brother. My entire existence is intertwined with her. How do I even begin to untangle that and separate? I have 4 more days to sit and overthink this. I genuinely don't know what to do because, a reminder, I think she's on one of those girl trips getting probably borked down.
Let her go. Let her go. She cheated on you with a lot of guys, or maybe just one guy. Who knows?
So update number 3. My wife is cheating on me. Continued. So I posted here about a month ago, venting my frustrations about discovering my wife's affair, and I received a magnitude of comments and messages filled with advice and kind words. For that, I thank everyone who took the time to comment or write for me. I'm sorry for anyone who related to my situation. I'm here with somewhat of an update, but mostly more venting. My life is upside down and it feels good to get it all out somewhere. Sorry if a lot of this is rambling, and sorry again for the length. After making my post, I took the advice of everyone and gathered up all the evidence, contacted lawyers in my area. I found a really great one and went ahead and started divorce papers before my wife got home. I also got tested for any spicy diseases, and I told my parents/best friends about the situation. I took my daughter to my parents so I could have the alone time to mentally prepare myself to face my wife with this discovery. I rage cleaned a lot. Dude, this guy is so great. He's like, oh, you cheat on me? You know what I'm freaking do? I'm gonna freaking clean the house spotless.
Can you imagine the dopamine that flows through your brain after that, though?
I cried a lot the last 2 days before she got back. I packed some of her stuff, then unpacked it and cried more. I had planned out to lay out all the screenshots along with the divorce papers on our dining room table and just sit and wait for her. She was supposed to get home later in the afternoon on Sunday, but she ended up getting back around 6:30 a.m. in the morning. She didn't call or text in hopes of surprising me. I was up drinking coffee, thank God, and you guessed it, crying when she got into the house. I didn't greet her. I just went and got the folders of evidence and divorce papers and just gave them to her. I don't remember anything she said that day, but I just said I knew. I wanted a divorce, and I would keep the house as it was in my name solely. It hurt a lot. I wanted to hug her, but also scream at her. Lots of tears from her, lots of yelling at me. I didn't say anything. I told her we could discuss it at length with lawyers present once she accepted the situation and calmed down. I think someone called it a gray wall in the comments of my last post. Not entirely sure, but I tried my best to do that and to not show any emotion / argue with her. It was really hard. The hardest thing I hope I'll ever have to do. She betrayed me, but I still felt awful for making her cry. Now, she left that day with some clothes and personal belongings and went to her parents, and my parents and best friend came to stay with me and my daughter. I had my lawyer arrange a meeting between us to discuss custody, belongings, money, everything else that following Tuesday. But Monday, I got a call from my clinic to come in to review the results of my spicy disease tests. It is not a good sign when your doctor calls you and is like, hey, why don't you come in person to review the results of these tests? That's not what you want to hear. And as it turns out, her parting gift to me was HSV2. I cannot describe in words how angry, sad, and shattered I am. I'm still accepting it. I don't think I have yet, but I'm working on it. I know it's common, very common, and it's not going to make me pass away, but it doesn't make it suck any less. I joined a support group on Facebook. Those people are great.
Let this be a lesson that sometimes you go flinging your ding-a-ling around and you're hawking your hoo-ha, and next thing you know, you wake up and you're spreading the herpes simplex virus to other people, like your husband.
Who freaking knew that could happen? So going into Tuesday, the big legal meeting day, with that knowledge was awful. I felt so much shame for bringing that up in front of not only her, but both of our lawyers. I knew if I tried to discuss it with her privately, it wouldn't go well, not with the amount of anger / sadness I had in my system. She never apologized. She was a different person that day. I felt like I was looking into the eyes of a complete stranger. No emotion whatsoever. Divorce-wise, everything is cut and dry. We separated finances. The house is mine. We are just waiting the 90 days for it to finalize. There were no objections on her end, but one, she wants to terminate her parental rights over our daughter. I say once. She is terminating rights, at least trying to. She doesn't want her anymore. Our daughter, our baby. I was effing blindsided. I'm still blindsided.
Well, well, well. Look who's got egg on their face. It's me. I should have never defended this person in any capacity whatsoever, nor should I have sought to see their perspective.
I mean, how could we have known?
You know, the silver lining there is that it's better to not have your daughter raised by someone who secretly doesn't want them or care about them than to just not have that person in their life. This is better. This is a more positive outcome than your daughter being raised by this trash woman.
My daughter's one, but she still loves her mama. Mama was her first word. She is one. It's been 3 weeks and the pain for my daughter and my family has been indescribable. I don't know who she is anymore. I don't know what changed or when it changed, but it terrifies me. I feel like my entire life was pulled out from under me. I haven't talked to her per lawyer's advice and my own fear of what I would say. She hasn't seen our daughter yet. She told me that day she didn't want to. She didn't want any pictures from our home, any memories, just her clothes and electronics.
I know I just said I have egg on my face for seeing her perspective, but gut check, it feels like the decisions of someone going through an acute mental crisis of some kind.
It does sound like that, but it's like OP is on the receiving end. I mean, the crazy thing is, I think she's been in personal therapy and couples counseling for the past year, basically. I don't understand any of it. I don't think I ever will. We have to go to court for her petition to terminate rights, and I don't want to look at her. I just can't accept this as a reality right now, not after everything. I'm trying as hard as I possibly can to keep a positive outlook on everything and be strong for my family and my baby. But this has been so hard. I hope a year from now I can look back and say I survived that. But right now it feels impossible to even see next week. I'm not thinking about self-harm. Don't take it as that. I'm just emotionally, mentally, and physically demolished. Absolutely demolished. And we have update number 4. The title is a happy update.
I wonder what happened. I don't think there's any guessing. The twists and turns in this story have thrown me for a loop. I'm going to say new wife, new life.
Hi there for anyone who has messaged me and the loads of comments I've received regarding my past venting on this account. Apologies, first off. I genuinely forgot I had it. Not much of a Reddit guy, but I have been getting into TikTok lately and saw a video about a super depressing Reddit story and remembered my own super depressing Reddit story. It's been around 8-ish months since I posted here about my upside down situation. And a lot of people messaged me in that time wanting to know how I was and what unfolded. And I really appreciate you strangers for all the kind messages. It genuinely means a lot. And I'm sorry I haven't replied or anything. My life has been in such a whirlwind these past few months. It's hard to believe that was that long ago. To sum up the sad stuff, first off, my divorce was finalized without any hiccups or holdups. I'm still in the works of trying to sell our old house, but in the meantime, we moved to a new state. My ex is still in the process of petitioning for termination of parental rights. I've only seen her 3 times since moving, and it's been to fly out to court. I was granted temporary full custody in the process per a request and situation and suggestion. She was not mandated any visitation and is denied any offer of it. She has not seen my daughter in 7 months. She has requested not to. I don't know what else she's been up to or if she is still with her boyfriend or not. Since the divorce, it has been in the best interest of my mental health to keep contact as minimal as possible, and she has done the same. I have offered many chances for her to visit with my daughter, whether it be a video call, flying out, and before we moved, I asked weekly, but it was always a no. Her parents still video call with my daughter, and we're hoping they can fly out over summer and spend some time with her. They've been cut off by my ex as well. I'm not sure what has changed. I can't change it back, and I am accepting it mostly. Never saw myself moving out there, but we have loved it so far. My parents packed up, came with us, and I don't think I have ever seen them so happy. I'm sorry, you're going to have to finish reading this story.
I'm taking over for John, but the story remains the same, though the narrator has changed. Anyway, my daughter is doing amazing. She will be 2 years old in July, and she is the smartest, funniest toddler I've ever met. She knows her ABCs. She can count to 20 without help. She loves animals and bugs, especially. She thinks farts and cow mooing are the definition of comedy, which I'm thinking about them right now, and they're making me chuckle. And she doesn't know, but she has been my biggest motivator to heal from this whole ordeal and be my best self. And that right there is beautiful. Like, I genuinely don't know how I helped make such an awesome kid. The more her personality grows, the more in awe I am of just how cool she is. I could talk for days about her, so I'll cap it here before this ends up being a Harry Potter length post. And by the way, if you want to listen to Harry Potter times 100,000. Go ahead and listen to full episodes of our podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts. Just search OK Storytime and you have 103 days non-stop. We are growing ever closer to the end of the story, and I think we're just going to go ahead and chugga-choo-choo right to it. As for myself, I'm in therapy and have been throughout these 8 months, and I'm in a much better headspace. I'm working on getting back on top of my health, as I did put on about 30 stress pounds. I'll get there eventually, but I'm not sweating it too much. I have not dated or tried to. I don't think I will anytime soon. I've adjusted to being a single parent pretty okay for the most part. I credit that to my family and friends more than anything, because they've been a huge support system throughout this entire ordeal. There are still really hard moments that have happened, and I know there are more to come, but I will roll with it just as I have this ordeal and hope to come out on top. This is not the end of the world for me, even if it feels or felt like it in the moment. The sun will rise tomorrow, birds will chirp, and all will be well. Thanks to my therapist for that. Those 2 sentences have helped me immensely. Sorry this ended up being so long. I should really pick up journaling. Maybe a blog or something. But thanks again to everyone who took the time to give me advice in the hardest time of my life. And thanks again if you read this, John.
I read most of it.
I genuinely appreciate it. And that is the end of that story. Woo! And you know what? It wasn't a new woman in the context of a wife, but it was a new lovely lady in the context of his daughter, who was the beacon of sunshine in his darkest night.
Giving the strongest, most beautiful girl dad vibes I could possibly hope to imagine.
Beautiful. That's how you take a big, stinking, fat mess of a situation and you turn it into a big, fat, fluffy cloud with a silver lining.